let me use this opportunity to invite everybody to be part of our Day 2 INNOVA Entrepreneurship Summit 2020. I'm the second speaker, and then I'm talking about great marketing skills for entrepreneurs. The topic for today is how to predict customer attrition and then how to prevent it. At the end of the presentation, these are the few things that I'll be talking about. We would like to know what customer attrition is all about, why customer attrition is an important metric to follow, how customer attrition rate is measured, the types of customer attrition, and then the fifth one, that will be the climax of the presentation, that is the strategies to reduce passive attrition. Here we are. We would wish that everybody on board will understand what customer attrition is all about, and then we can find a way to prevent it or to reduce it. Now let's start with the section 1 of it. I actually said we will know what customer attrition is all about. Now this is what customer attrition is. It's the loss of customers by a business. As we know, and as we in the entrepreneurial environment, we get customers and then we lose them. We get more sometimes and we lose less. There are instances where we get less and then we lose more. But this particular section is trying to let us understand that customers will certainly disappear. That is the meaning of customer attrition. The customers that we know today, the customers that buy from us will one day disappear. When it happens, it is called customer attrition. In some books, it is termed as customer churn. In other books too, it's called customer turnover. Then we have customer cancellation, and in some other books too, it is what we call customer defection. From where I stand and where you also stand, there is one diagram that we can all look at that helps in the explanation of what customer attrition is all about. You can see from the diagram that there's a tap, and then there is a bucket down below the tap. The tap keeps flowing, but the bucket doesn't get to its full measure because there are more spaces below the bucket. That is the churn we are talking about. It's just like you pour water into a bucket with holes under them. No matter the quantum or the level that you want the water to get to, until you seal the holes, the bucket will never get to its level. That is the customer attrition we are talking about. Let's look at this. You have a new company or a new restaurant. Day in and day out, new people come in and then they go out. You don't see them again. I think this should call for an investigation to find out, why am I losing my customers? Why am I only getting new customers but they don't come back again? In this case, we call them first purchaser, or somebody who is buying at the very first time. Sometimes people buy from us for convenience sake, but when they enjoy our services, they stick to buy from us and they become loyal customers. Now let's look at one of the founders of marketing, that is Philip Kotler. In 2009, he said that gaining new customers is 5 to 10 times costlier than keeping an existing customer happy and loyal in today's competitive condition. And he went on to say that in an average year, every organization loses 10 to 30% of their customers. This is really a big situation that needs to be investigated. If you are looking at it carefully, we realize that keeping a new customer keeping customers costs us lesser than looking for newer customers. When you want to look for a new customer, you have to embark on advertisements, personal selling, sharing of flyers, moving door to door. All this comes with a cost. Now let's look at, you have a customer who buys from you. picking your phone, sending a WhatsApp to find out how you are feeling, how your family is, in the form of creating a relationship with a customer and keeping the customer will be less expensive as compared to going out there and looking for customers every day. Now let's look at it from somebody who is into a church or in the church industry. You keep on going out to do evangelism. You keep on going out to bring new people. But day in and day out, the old people don't stay. This will always create a space in your organization. Now let's look at some of the customer attrition rates that has actually been hitting some organizations. Now there's an organization that I have used as my example. It says that if the organization had 50,000 customers on 1st January and then 45,000 customers on 31st December, then the attrition rate of the company is 10%. What you are trying to say here, there is a diagram here too that will help us to understand how I did the calculation. If you want to know the customers that you have lost, this is the formula to use. Lost customers over new customers is equal to the shown percentage. So from the example I gave to you, we were having 50,000. Now it has reduced to 45,000. So we have lost 5,000. So use the 5,000 and then divide it by the new customers that you have. It will end up at 3.75. It means here that in a year, the company is losing 3.75% of the entire customer base that the organization has. Now let's look at the relationship between customer attrition and then customer retention. If you are talking about customer attrition, then the other side of it now becomes customer retention. So if you are able to record 3.75% as customer attrition, then if you want to know your customer retention, it will be 100% minus the 3.75. So the more the rate of customer attrition, the less you record customer retention. This should be something good or bad to an organization. I wouldn't be able to tell you the percentage that is accepted, but from literature, it shows that from 10 to 30%, that is the annual rate that an average organization would get customers that are leaving or disappearing. So if this is what I'm using as my measure, then if you do your calculation and you realize that you are losing more than the number that you are gaining, then there is something wrong. This is where you have to sit back as an entrepreneur and start looking at strategies that will help you to come out from this. Now let's look at why we are all studying this. If you know the percentage of your customer attrition, it will help you to correct your bad marketing strategies. It will help you to correct your bad marketing skills. So at any point in time, if you get to know that the attrition rate is high or the attrition rate is low, then there's a failure somewhere. Some of this may be due to customer experience. Customers are not enjoying your services. It can also be that the product you are selling, it is of poor quality. As time goes on, I'll be bringing out all these ways that customers use as a means of leaving your organization. Now, if you look at the revenue of an organization too, the more you lose your customers, the more you lose revenue. Then we will look at the types of customer attrition. This is where the presentation really would focus on. There are basically two types of customer attrition. We have the active attrition and then we have the passive attrition. The active one, they are normally those who will formally call your organization that, oh, we used to buy food from you every lunch. We've been ordering 50 plates a day, but today we want to buy only 5 plates. This should actually tell you that there is something going wrong. But what makes it active here is that they will inform you. The organization will inform you that this is what is happening. So I want to reduce my number of order. When you start picking these signals, then it should tell you that you are at the edge of losing that customer. Now let's go to the passive one. With the passive one, they don't tell you anything. All what will happen is they will disappear. So you say, oh, I used to have 50 customers. Today I have only 4. I used to have 13. Today I have 3. They never come to inform you of any idea that they are disappearing. This makes it very, very difficult to handle passive attrition. But that is where today's presentation rests the more. Now we'll look at the active attrition again and find out how best we can reduce it. So this is where the strategies comes in. The active one, as I said earlier on, what they do is they will inform you. It's just like you have a bank account. You want to close your account. You go to the bankers. Please, I want to close my account. This is an active attrition. Now it is up to the bankers there, it's up to the marketers there to find a way to stop you from cancelling or terminating your account. I quite remember I had one experience. I want to move from one bank to another, but they managed to give me 1 or 2 reasons why I shouldn't move. Some of these reasons may be psychological effect that you may go with if you leave one organization to the other. Let's take it, one of our telecommunication, I don't want to mention names here. Immediately you leave them to another and your friends don't follow you, there are always additional costs that you will bear. Imagine you leave to one telecommunication company and then all your friends are at the other end, and calling them will be expensive. So these are some of the things that we call them switching barriers that stops people from what? Doing or disappearing. Now, immediately you get a sign that a customer wants to disappear. This is what you should do. The very first one is dedicate account manager. When we say account manager, give a particular customer somebody that the person should deal with. I think some of our churches have been doing this. They will look at the area where the new covenant or the new person came from. Then if they have a zonal leader, they will say the zonal leader should take care of the new person who is visiting the church. You can use this too as an entrepreneur. All what you have to do is assign people to different accounts. So if you have employees, 5, employee 1, take care of the order from this company B. Take care of this, take care of that. Immediately you assign somebody to take care of them, definitely customers would also start thinking twice. Somebody said that 7 out of 10 customers prefer to have in touch with a same account manager. Instead of you changing, today A will call company B and then find out why it's not actually buying from you again. This thing should be a thing of the past. Assign one person who should be calling that particular organization, and in so doing you will be able to convince them for them to stay. The second aspect too is look for improve on your products. The products that you keep giving out to customers. Don't forget that there are other competitors who will also join the industry, and when they come and join, they always add something different from what is already on the market. So at the end of the day, the new people who are entering the market will now take the old entrepreneurs, customers away. This is as a result of we refusing to improve on our products. Don't keep selling the same product over and over and over and over. Do a research, upgrade your products. Let customers know that you are with them. Let me cite an example. We have Coke. It's for the youth, but they realize that the adult too also consume Coke. So they brought Diet Coke. to take care of people who don't want to take in a lot of sugar. Ask yourself, your services that you are providing, the product you are producing, have you been able to add any value? Have you been able to add any feature that will help customers not to go and look for other features that other competitors are providing? Now we look at appreciate your customers. Let's get this one right. 30% of customers are ready to switch to anybody unless you are ready to reward them. What I'm trying to say here is, as a new entrepreneur or as an old entrepreneur, reward your loyal customers. Customers would not take you for granted when you reward them. There's nothing wrong in sending them bonuses. There's something wrong in giving them 2% discount. There's nothing wrong in giving them something small for a Christmas or a New Year package. Appreciate your customers. I think so many of us are into this, but the idea behind it is to reward our customers. From next month, people will start parceling things and then sending them to organizations that they have been doing business with, all because they want to reward them. This is what we are talking about. Entrepreneurs should learn how to reward customers. There's one thing we should also look at. When a company or an individual buys from you, and that same organization or individual also sells something, do it in this way. Buy from that particular customer too. I'm trying to point out one or two things so that we will understand how customers behave. A customer buys from you every day, then you also buy from somebody else. Meanwhile, the customer that buys from you sells the same thing that you are buying from other supplier. When they get to know of all this, definitely they will stop buying from you. If you want to grow as an entrepreneur, find a way to appreciate your customers, especially those who are also doing different business, but you buy those items that they produce. This, in a way, will keep the relationship growing. It's as if you are a customer to him or her, and he's also a customer to you. Such a relationship will definitely grow, and the customer will never run away from you. This is for the active attrition. Now we are going to spend a little time on the passive attrition. With the passive attrition, this is the most dangerous aspect of it. You will never be told by the customer that, oh, I am fed up, I'm not going to buy from you again. Oh, I'm leaving this area, I'm going to now stay in another area. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He will never inform you. As a businessman, as an entrepreneur, there are some signs that immediately you pick this or those signs, it should tell you that the customer is at the edge of leaving you. I'm coming again. No customer under the passive attrition will walk to you as they do when it comes to the active attrition. Under the passive attrition, what they do is they will keep quiet and then they will disappear. You will never see them again. Now, these are the 7 things that we are going to level off. I was trying to say here that with the passive attrition, the customers will never walk to you and tell you that I'm fed up with you. But you as an entrepreneur, you as a marketer, you should have some signals. You should pick some signals. These signals should inform you that the customer wants to leave. I mean, let's try to put this in a picture of a relationship. You are with a lady or a lady is with you. If the relationship is going well, there are some signals that you will pick. If the relationship is going off the track, there are signals that you will know. You don't need to be out of, the blue when you get to know that one party is not interested in the relationship again. That is what I'm trying to say. In business, when customers start complaining, when a customer comes to complain, they should give you a signal that the customer wants to move from you. or to do business somewhere. They get annoyed if they have to spend part of their day trying to get something working. Some customers used to spend all their time with you, correct mistakes and the rest. They don't complain because they want to be with you. Immediately they start to complain, then get the signal that they really want to move. Now let's look at how to fix this problem. When a customer starts complaining, this is the time for you to use your customer service skills. This is the time to turn things around. Get to know that if a customer complains to you, it's rather helping you to fix the problem. So when they complain, don't hit back at them. Embrace what they have said and then promise them that you are going to work over it. You are going to work to fix the problem. This is all what customers want to hear from you. Oh, I've acknowledged that there is this problem, but I'm going to work around and then do it. Oh, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Oh, this is the last time that you experience this. This is what they want to know or want to hear. So immediately customers start complaining. Even though it is a sign, you can actually do away with the shunning because you would proactively come in and solve the problem. Then we have no response. There are situations where you call your old customer, he wouldn't pick up. You send email, he won't respond. You send maybe WhatsApp, he will call something blue ticking. It will take blue, but he won't read. He won't come back to you to even say hi. These are signals that you are losing your customer. There are so many people who by nature, when they are not for you, they are not with you, they don't want to entertain anything that comes from your end. Now this is how you can do away with all this. Find a way to communicate with them. If you used to do a telephone call, now you can use the WhatsApp. Look for an alternative so that you can engage the customer and get the customer to be with you. Now we continue. Then they quote contracts. When the customer wants to leave you, they tell you, I know my rights. I know in every contract this is how it should be. This is how it should be done. When you start hearing all these things, it's a sign that the customer wants to leave you. Now we continue. When customers start telling you laws, they quote acts, they quote articles. This should tell you they are leaving. Don't let them go. Tell them that you are aware and you fix the problem. Sorry. Now unsubscribe from email list. Some of them will start leaving you. Those who do what we call tweeting and the rest, they will stop following you. Immediately a customer stop following you, it should give you the idea, it should give you the sign that the customer wants to leave. This is a way of dealing with such a customer. Try when the customer unfollows you, find a way to get the customer to know the actual reason why the customer wants to leave you. When you get a reason, then you fix the problem. Then we have what we call organizational change. That is where the one who buys from you is going on pension. The one who is buying from you is going to a different department. The one who buys from you is taking up another appointment elsewhere. This means that the company will stop buying from you. The company will stop buying from you. And this will amount to what we call customer attrition. But there's a way out again. Don't wait for this to happen. Keep a stronger relationship with the person. Wherever the person goes, keep a relationship with the person. There's a possibility that he will also give you another contract at wherever he has gotten to. Now, there's what we call compulsion game. When the customer comes to you, instead of buying from you, you start comparing things. Even this company does it this way. Even they give 4 for 5 cities. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Immediately this comparison game starts. This is a sign that you are losing that customer. Now renegotiate with the customer so that the customer will come back and then do more business again with you. Now we are getting to the conclusion of it all. All what we want to say here is we are all to be warned. Customer attrition can happen to anybody at any time. So let's be on alert and solve some of these challenges. Sorry. Now we can continue. Sorry. Now have you, that is quitting customers, try to invest in them. When a customer wants to quit, find a way to invest into the customer. Now let's look at marriage. You date, you marry. But when you realize that your marriage is not going on as it's supposed to be, you now date again. Even though you are married, you start dating again. It means that you are now coming to invest into the relationship all over again. You can do same when you have customers who want to quit. Invest into them. Some of the customers, you can go and do free installation for them. Some of them, you can give them discounts. A very huge one. Sometimes you can even say you have 3 wards with us. The 4th person or the 4th child of yours is not paying school fees. These are some of the ways you can invest into your customers. So if you have all this at the back of your mind, you can even take a customer out for a lunch. It is possible. You can do it. You can call a customer and tell, let's meet here, and then all the bill is on me. These are some of the things that customers want to hear. Follow-ups. You can call customers to find out what is happening. Now, the bottom line of keeping a customer or stopping customers from disappearing is what we call personal relationship. Don't see customers as if they only come and buy and then they move on. No, take notice of them. Create relationship with them. Let their problems be your problem. Let their joy be shared by both you and then everybody in the organization should be part of their joy. In so doing, they become part of you and they find it very, very difficult. I know of people who have left Tema and their kids still school in Tema. People who have left Accra and their kids still move from Tema to Accra to just to go to school. All because of the personal relationship they have either with some of the teachers there or the management of the school. I want this thing to also be used in our normal way of doing business. Let the customer feel it's part of the business. There are times where you have so many people queued, and then when it is time for a customer that you know of, you say, oh, maybe if you don't take care of me, I will take care of myself. Some will even go to the extent of taking their own plates and serve themselves, all because of the personal relationship that you have with them. This is what makes you an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur should always be on top of the relationship. You fix problems so that the customers will always keep and stay with you. As I bring my presentation to a close, I will take questions in due time, but I'm trying to do a summary of what I have presented so far. From head to toe, we have been looking at customer attrition. This is my advice to new entrepreneurs. Learn to keep records. If you don't keep records, you won't even know the customers that are coming in and the customers that are leaving you. You don't even know the percentage that comes in and the percentage that goes out. So if you are an entrepreneur and you really want to stay in business for a very long time, your first skill should be how to keep records. You can use Excel. Just open to one page, the customer's name, the customer's address, the last time he came to buy, the value of things he bought. You can keep it there. And anytime you can be referring to. Some of us too, we can use the CCTV if you don't have the time. When they come in, they shop and go. You ask for the coverage, you sit down with the manager, then you, oh, this man, who is he? This man, who is he? Then at the end of the day, you can put data together. Until you have data, you won't enjoy what you are talking about. Now let's say it here again, that customer attrition has come to stay. It's not because of you that a customer may leave. There are instances where a customer may move on, he may die, he may go on transfer, he wouldn't even be buying again because he doesn't have the purchasing power, he's on pension. So customer attrition is all over, but how you manage it is what makes you a successful entrepreneur. Imagine you give birth, the child dies. You give birth, the child dies. Will you keep giving birth, or you stop and then investigate and get to know where the problem is, and then you fix the problem, then you go out there again and then you give birth. This time around, the child will stay. So it is not about the number of customers that you have, but we are talking about how you can keep your customers from disappearing. I think I will end my lecture or presentation here, and then I will take your questions and I will answer them as and when they come in. Thank you very much for your time. Let's meet again when the questions start coming.